So this slide depicts a small sample of our courses. These are probably some of the more core and important courses that we do have. But just to give you a quick overview, we do have a number of group classes. These will normally run between having somewhere between about 5 and 20 people, maybe up to 25 people depending on time and part of the time of the year and so forth. So for example, our MYOB basic course, you have the opportunity to come through. This is a group course. We will be teaching you the theory, how to use MYOB, but at the same time we're going to bring a very strong practical component to this. So we'll be talking about business, as I said, a lot of business theory, but even when we do get to using MYOB, we do not use textbooks in this program. Okay, so no longer is the invoice and the date on the top right hand side. We are going to be using scanned in transactions. Okay, for privacy reasons we may have changed some of the details around names and so forth to protect confidentiality, but you will be using real life scanned in transactions from the business world when you work through our program. Once you've done the MYOB basic course, we then break you into some work experience. The first thing you will do is, most likely, what we would recommend, the first thing you would do is the QCT, standing for Quinlan Consulting Team, accounts. So in our management accounting side of the business, we have a number of staff, around about 20 or 25 consultants that would go out to clients and do bookkeeping work, anything from AR up to BAS lodgements. Each week, that company, well, my company would need to go through and pay those people. So what we can do is we can give you a backup of the MYOB file, being my backup of my live MYOB file. I can give you all the timesheets that I receive from clients and from staff and consultants during the week. I can give you my live bank statements, and you will go through and do accounts receivable, accounts payable, payroll, and a bank reconciliation. You will create the sales invoices, and you will go through and do the exact same process as what my bookkeeper does on a weekly basis. At the end of the session, you will run your profit and loss. You can compare it to his profit and loss and make sure you get the same answer. My bookkeeper that I pay on a weekly basis does the work off-site, so there's no reason you can't do exactly the same thing off-site as well. Okay. So as we go through a little bit more detail of the program later, I'll explain to you about level 1, level 2 and so forth, but it would start you off in some lower level from past weeks where you'll be able to go through and pick an easy week, and then you'll start to build up to some of the current live files as they come through. So you'll have access to do this on a weekly basis, for example. The longer you stay in the program, the more knowledge you're going to have, the better you're going to be at MYOB, and most importantly, the more real client work experience you're going to have on your resume. From there, we'll bring you back into something like the MYOB intermediate course. From there, we can give you things like we have clients that come in and still drop off a shoebox of paperwork. We can give you the paperwork under our supervision. We can go through with you, and you will be able to enter things like ARAP, payroll, credit card recs, bank recs, and you'll get to the point where, again, under our supervision, we can get you up and we can actually get you a draft, a copy of the BAS, and at the end of the process we can compare all your figures compared to what we've done for the clients to make sure you're getting the same answers. Okay. We have things like the MYOB payroll course, not listed on here. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Once you've done that, you can go into some work experience around doing client payroll, sitting with us under our supervision. You work your way into the harder level courses like our MYOB BAS course, and you'll have an opportunity again to sit with us and go through and lodge client BASs. Again, you'll be working off a backup, you will draft your own figures, you'll compare those to the figures that we've calculated, and again we'll work through if there's any knowledge gaps you've got around getting the same answer as us. So you can see that the work experience in this program is not at the end. You will be starting work experience back here normally within about the first 5 to 7 days of joining the program. In addition to that, we have a number of tutorials that you can do. These again are not textbook. We've created real life scenarios where we've gone through and filled out employment declaration forms. We've taken contracts, we've just converted those to I suppose 10 names, but we've put together timesheets and things like that you will be able to go through and do in the tutorials. So these tutorials are not real client work. but what we have done is we've replicated what we've seen in the business world, and they are essentially what you will be doing if you went into a paid or voluntary type role in the marketplace. Tutorials take around about a day each. These can be downloaded from our resources page and can be done at a time that suits you. We have a number of videos. For example, level 1, we have a video that shows step by step how to do each screen in these tutorials. So if you have any trouble doing these tutorials, you can go through and watch the video and make sure at your speed that you can pick up what you need to do in order to understand these tutorials. So we have answers in electronic format for level 1 and level 2. At this stage, there is no level 3 tutorial. We want you to come in face to face and do this with us. So you can see the idea is you'll work through the group courses into the voluntary work experience, and then at the end of this, we will be allowing you to put this on your resume. We will be a referee for you. We will be trying to help you into a paid role. While we don't guarantee paid work, what we do guarantee is as much voluntary work experience as you want to do, or as much vocational work as you want to do in order to gain the knowledge that you need to do for you individually to build up your resume and get you in a position to do a self-paid job down the track. In addition to that, we also want to help you get through the interview process. So we have a job-seeking group course. We'll help you do some career planning. We'll help you individually write your resume. To start off with, this will be over email when you first join the program. About 2 months in, we'll have an opportunity, once you've actually got some work experience from up here, to sit down with you again individually. We'll help you write your resume. We'll help you write your cover letter. From there, we'll sit down and do a real interview with you. Now, when I say real interview, we'll interview one-on-one as if it was a real interview. At the end of the 30 minutes or so, our HR manager will give you some feedback about what you said right, what you could have done better, how you can improve, importantly to ensure that when you do get in front of a real employer, that you're able to confidently get through that process and get the job. We also run a number of other sessions such as communications. So as I said, this is just a snapshot of some of our more core courses. You should consult our mentor map to get a more exhaustive list of the courses that we do offer.